Okay, well, if I'm looking a little bit windswept, it's because it's a bit of a chilly day here in Leicestershire at Grace Road. But the next name to go onto the Cricinfo teapot is none other than New Zealand fast bowler Tim Southee. Good to see you, Tim.
Hi.
I'm sorry I brought you up here onto a chilly balcony, but New Zealand gets cold as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think everywhere gets cold at times, but yeah, it was a lovely day yesterday, and then opened the curtains this morning and it's stayed up today, so I guess that's what we come to expect over here.
Chops and changes. What do you make of Leicester so far? What you've seen of it? And be careful, because this was my hometown for a short few years.
I've only been here a couple of days, so haven't done a hell of a lot. Played golf yesterday on a lovely course, so hasn't been all bad.
This is not the first time you've obviously toured England on a test tour, because you came in 2008, but that was very much at the very start of your test career, wasn't it? I mean, how would you describe the journey that you've been on since then?
Yeah, it was my first trip away. And I was only 19, so it was a great experience to come over here and play at the grounds we play over here, and obviously a lot of water under the bridge since. So it's been 5 years, and there's been a few ups and downs, and learned a lot. And I think now I'm a better, I guess, more wise in what I'm doing, and understand the game a lot more than what I did 5 years ago. I guess I was a bit fresh and a bit green 5 years ago, so hopefully take the experiences I've learned in playing in different parts of the world, and obviously playing here 5 years ago, and use that to my advantage this tour.
And you were young, weren't you, when you made your test debut? I remember that actually at Napier, because it was quite a performance against England. You took 5 wickets, hit a very quick fire, the fastest half century for New Zealand at that time, 70 or 44 balls you ended up with. And what was that experience like, walking into a dressing room aged 19? Because Stephen Fleming was still captain. That was his last test match, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was a bit daunting. I was lucky enough to play. That was his last test, was my first test, so that's something that'll always be very special. And to walk into a changing room with a group of guys that sort of not so long ago before that I was sort of emulating in the backyard, and so it was. I guess it was a hell of an experience, and sort of walked in and had to pinch yourself a couple of times to make sure it wasn't a dream, and yeah, it was. You look around, you got the likes of Vittori, Fleming, Oram, guys like that who have been around for a while, and guys I'd watched growing up, and all of a sudden you're sharing change room with them. It's a pretty surreal feeling, and it was I guess it's something as a New Zealander growing up, you always want to be either an All Black or a Black Cap, and if you're into sport, that is, and lucky enough to do that at a very young age.
Who was your bowling hero as you were growing up? Were you sort of running around the farm, bowling fast, pretending to be someone?
I always looked up to someone like a Chris Cairns, who was a bit of in New Zealand, where he was a bowler that batted a bit as well, and obviously an entertaining cricket player. But someone else is someone like an Andrew Flintoff, sort of similar sort of characteristics, and as Chris Cairns, and so those two guys are sort of, when I was younger, I sort of looked up to, along with someone like Glenn McGrath, who was obviously a world-class bowler.
And now you come to England and you find yourself sort of at the other end. Well, you're only 24, but yet you come here as leader of the bowling attack. You and Trent Boult together. Do you feel a sense of responsibility and a shift in how you are in the team now?
Yeah, it was a big change in personnel from that tour of 2008. I think there's only 3 or 4 guys that were on that tour 5 years ago. So there's a lot of fresh faces and a lot of, I guess, raw talent that hasn't really had a lot of chances at international level. But it's exciting talent in the dressing room, and yeah, I guess it's that. You look at the bowlers, and we're all sort of around the same age, and there isn't a lot of test cricket between us, but we all get along very well, and we've played a lot of cricket together. Myself, Trent, obviously played the same side back in New Zealand. We played age group stuff together, and we got a good relationship off the field, along with Dougie and Wags, who's had a great sort of last 6 months. So it's exciting times with some I guess not so bigger names in world cricket, but they're exciting players, and I'm sure they'll be names to watch out for in the future.
And do you feel like a leader of the attack? How does the sort of bowling unit work?
I guess I'm the most experienced in the bowling attack, and I guess they sort of look for a bit of experience from the from me who has been there and done that a little bit more than they have. But I think we all bounce off each other and learn from each other. And obviously having Shane Bond, who's been there and done that himself for New Zealand, was also great to have around as well. So yeah, we all sort of get along very well and bounce ideas off each other.
And in terms of you and the development of your bowling, we saw how quite brilliantly you bowled in Auckland, the last Test match you played. You were swinging the ball beautifully. I just wonder who has had the most influence on you in your senior bowling career, because you worked with the likes of Alan Donald, worked with Chaminda Vaas a bit in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Are there any sort of particular figures, one of those or someone else who really stands out?
Yeah, it goes back to when I first started. There's bowling coach in New Zealand was Vaughan Johnson, who now is the coach of Otago back in New Zealand. So he's someone I worked with from a young age, and he was there when I first broke into the New Zealand side. So he's someone I still keep in regular contact with, and he's known me and watched me for a number of years now. So he's always good to keep in touch with, and had that period there where Alan Donald was with us wasn't for as long as I'd like, but he was there and made a huge difference and played some good cricket while he was around. So he's another I still keep in touch with, along with obviously Shane now. Mm-hmm. So there's a few there. I think you don't want too many people too many voices sort of telling you different things. So you need to find out the guys you know and trust and can work with and know you and have your best interests at heart. So those are probably three guys that spring to mind, and it was great to have Chaminda's input in the subcontinent there, and I guess he's someone that we can get hold of when we tour those parts of the world. So he was very handy for those conditions.
The mower's busy going up and down Grace Road, if people can hear in the background, because we certainly can. One thing Alan Donald said, and he made a pretty huge statement when he was working with you, said you could be the best swing bowler in Test cricket. Do you remember him saying that? Did that help? Did that put you under any added pressure? You always feel pressure as a Test bowler, but
yeah, and as I said, I was sort of going through a phase where I was bowling well at the time, and things all going so well. So yeah, I guess it's a goal to be the best in what you do, and that is a goal to become one of the best swing bowlers going around. So you look around at the moment, you look at someone like a James Anderson who can swing the ball and both ways and at will. So yeah, there's some good swing bowlers going around, but yeah, hopefully still only reasonably young, so there's still a few years in me yet, so hopefully that can be achieved.
Yeah, you said to me just before we started filming that you haven't quite got it right, you haven't mastered swing bowling. I mean, does anybody ever actually master swing bowling, do you think?
I don't know, good question. I'm not sure. I think something I'm working on at the moment is being able to bring one back. The outswinger seems to be working pretty well, and it'd be nice to be able to get one to go back the other way. So as I say, you look at someone like a James Anderson, he's probably the best swing bowler going around at the moment, especially over here in the conditions that he plays in and with the Duke ball. So again, it's another thing, is watching and learning other guys you play against, and it'll be good to see how he goes about his business over here, and always just trying to learn and get better.
So it's notable in the Test match in Auckland, you were swinging the ball beautifully. James Anderson, that widely acknowledged as the best swing bowler in the world, couldn't find any swing from that kookaburra at all. Have you thought at all, why that might be? Why you were able to swing the ball that day and yet he wasn't?
No, I don't. To be honest, I think that's one of our strengths. Is myself and Trent both big swingers of the ball. So we get in favourable conditions that like we have in Sri Lanka, where we managed to get it swinging. It's a big help for us. So yeah, I'm not sure why James didn't get to swing in Auckland, but yeah, we didn't get to swing big, but we got it to swing enough to cause a bit of doubt in the batter's mind.
And what's your aim when you're swinging the ball, in terms of when your outswing is your stock delivery that works so well for you? Technical wise, for people watching at home, what's your grip on the ball? Where are you angling the seam? What's important to you to get that ball to swing just enough?
I think I've been lucky. I've got a reasonable wrist that's in a pretty good position to bowl outswing. So I think you get the seam in the right position. You don't want it pointing too far towards third man. You want it to pointing towards sort of first or second slip, and if you get the seam coming out right, and then it's going a long way to swinging the ball.
And then how are you finding the Duke's balls over here? Were you practicing with them when you were in New Zealand as well before coming out?
Yeah, we got given a couple of Dukes at the end of our home summer to train with before coming over. So a few of the guys hadn't bowled with them before, but as I say, I came over in 2008, so it's not the first time I've bowled with them. But I like the Dukes, and hopefully we can get them swinging. And as I say, myself and Trent, we rely on swing, so if we can get it swinging, then it'll be better for our side.
Does it feel different in your hand when you're used to bowling with a kookaburra? Does the seam feel different? What is the major? Obviously, people know about how the swing factor is slightly different, but when it's in your hand,
yeah, they do feel different. The seam seems to be more pronounced than the kookaburra, and they tend to stay harder for longer, which is a good thing. The kookaburra sort of tend to, after about 30 overs, there's not a hell of a lot they do. They tend to go a touch soft, where the Dukes, I think, stay harder for longer. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about your upbringing on the sheep farm where you grew up with your parents. Tell me something I don't know about sheep. Lambing season in New Zealand.
I don't know.
There's a lot.
That's for sure. So I grew up in a small town about 2 hours north of Auckland, and on the parents' sheep and beef farm. Loved it. Enjoyed the country sort of background, and still enjoy going back and spending a bit of time on the farm. So it's good to get back and get away from everything and do some, I guess people call it, real work. So it's enjoyable and good to have something to go back to.
Yeah, it's funny when you say the word real work. And how do you enjoy the travel and all the time that the cricket sort of sends you on the road? Because you recently became a father, didn't you?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's as I say, sort of growing up as a kid, I always wanted to be either an All Black or a black cap, and lucky enough to become one of them. So it's something you do for a short period of time, and you do get sick of airports and hotels and aeroplanes and whatnot. But you know, it's only for a short period of your life, so you may as well make the most of it. And it is enjoyable. I think anything else I'd rather be doing is representing your country and something you love doing. You get to see parts of the world you'd never see if you weren't doing what we do. So I can't complain. There's times where you sort of ask yourself why you're doing it, but then you think to yourself, I'd rather be doing this than anything else. So it's a very enjoyable job, and it's something I love doing.
And it's an interesting time now for New Zealand cricket with Brendan McCullum in charge. What is he like as a leader and a captain? Because you played under Stephen Fleming for one test, but Dan Vettori, Ross Taylor, Brendan now. What is his style, and how do the players react to him?
He's done a great job since he's taken over. He's a born leader. Like, he just loves leading. He's a thinker of the game, and he's a proactive captain. Like, he's willing to chance his arm to try and get the side ahead, and that's not always going to work. But he's willing to try something to I guess get ahead in the game. So he's got a great cricket brain, and he's, as I say, he's just a natural leader. So he's got that respect in the change room amongst guys. It's only early time in his captaincy career, but I'm sure he'll do a great job.
Someone who's not averse to sort of taking risks, being an attacking captain in the Test arena.
Yeah, definitely. I think you saw that in Auckland with the fields and whatnot, and it's just about sort of trying to stay ahead of the game. And as I say, he's got a great cricket mind, and that goes a long way to I guess trying to stay a step ahead of the game. And he is an attacking player, and that sort of shows in his captaincy as well, which is a good thing. And he instills belief in the players as well, and gives them confidence, which is a good thing with the young guys coming in, and they feel that they can compete against the rest and feel welcome. So it's a good thing.
Yeah. How important do you think his experience will be of sort of England occasions such as the Lord's Test match? You've been at Lord's. How different is it? Much different to playing at another Test ground? You often hear players talk about sort of the aura that somewhere like Lord's has.
It is, because it's Lord's. Every cricketer either wants to go to Lord's, and some are lucky enough to play there. So it is, especially for us who don't tour this part of the world a hell of a lot. It's a very special place in all cricketers. The guys are pretty excited. The guys have been talking about it for a while, and they're really looking forward to going there. There's a few guys that have been there to watch games who have been over here playing either county cricket or club cricket over here, and I guess to go as a player and just experience that the whole week and what it's about. It's just a special memory that you'll always remember. And
what's the is there sort of one thing that you took away from, one memory that you took away from your experience of a Lord's Test, whether it's the lunches or
well, the lunches are go without saying, they're obviously the best in the world, and but I think one thing is when you go out to bat and you walk down the stairs and you come through the long room and they all stand up and they clap you out, and that sort of sends the shivers down the spine, and even if you don't last long out there, they tend to clap you off as well. So just that whole experience and the tradition behind the ground, and I guess just turning up there the first time and walking. I don't even think I dropped my bags. I just walked straight out and walked out onto the balcony and just had a look and just took it all in. So that's it was just it's just one of those grounds where you just love going.
Did you get a towel with your initials embroidered on the corner in gold thread? Is that just a rumour? Maybe that's a rumour. Maybe that's just the home players who get that.
Maybe I left it on the ground.
It's getting windy and it's chilly out here, so I'll let you get a jumper on and then get on to training. But two quick questions to finish with. The first one, do you think the Duke's ball and home advantage, home conditions, will give England a big advantage in this series compared to how close the two teams were in New Zealand?
I guess we have to wait and see, but I think England will come out, obviously didn't achieve what they wanted to achieve in New Zealand, and they'll want to come out and put this series, and they'll want to stamp their authority on it reasonably quickly, but we also gained a lot of a step in the right direction from where we were in South Africa, and gained a lot of
you look like you want to say something, but you're trying to stop yourself.
Yeah, well, I don't want to end up with egg on my face, but yeah, I think the guys are looking forward to it. Everyone's excited. Playing at Lords, I think everyone wants to do well there. It's a ground where if you do well, people will remember it for a long time. So yeah, the guys are fizzing for it, and if we do well over here in their conditions, it will show that what we did in New Zealand wasn't just a one-off, and hopefully we can start to gain a bit more respect in Test cricket. The last couple of years we haven't been where we want to be, and if we do well over here, then I guess it'll be a step in the right direction for us as a Test nation.
I mean, that experience in Auckland and that series must have really made you guys think, we can actually come to England and cause a bit of an upset, cause a stir here.
Yeah, well, it was. You look at the rankings and you're thinking England will just come to New Zealand and beat us easily. I think that's what everyone was expecting, and but the belief in the team was that we are better than what we show in our rankings. So yeah, it's we've got a lot of, as I say, exciting young talent that hasn't really had a lot of time to prove themselves at international level, but has the ability to do so. So yeah, we're I guess confident, but we also understand that it is the number 2 side in the world, and they are in their own backyard. But yeah, we did gain a lot of out of that tour of New Zealand.
Okay, last question. You grew up on a sheep farm. Alistair Cook is a sheep farmer. Are the two of you going to be nipping off at lunchtime to have a quick discussion about the lambing season?
I don't know about that. We also played together at Essex a couple of years ago as well. So yeah, we'll have to talk some farming at some stage.
Good stuff. Tim, it's been really good to meet you. Thanks so much. I have to ask you to sign the teapot. So I doubt you've ever been asked to do that before, have you? Here you go. It's a good looking signature. Okay. Cheers, Tim. Thank you very much. Teapot. Tim Southee.